Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. We are from Block 4 and we will present the issue opportunities and challenge of Rahnu. My name is Muhammad Nur Amin bin Nursam. My number ID 2022-856-278 and I will start with introduction. Rahnu is an Islamic pawnbroking that follows Sharia principle. It is free from interest charge and lower cost compared to the conventional pawnbroking. Rahnu was introduced in early 1990s in Malaysia and there are several issues and challenges becoming barriers in implement Rahnu services.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Kunur Azima and I will explain two issues of Rahnu. The first one is lack of legal framework. Conventional pawnbroking is protected under the Act of Pawnbroker 1972. Unfortunately, Rahnu providers cannot fully adhere to this said Act. This is due to the said Act under Section 13, 17 and 23 mention that the pawnbrokers are allowed to impose interest charges onto the borrower. Interest charges is an example of riba. This very element is prohibited in Islam and Rahnu is no exception. The second issue is safekeeping fees. Rahnu providers is being governed by various overlapping statutes and guidelines depending on the registration of the institution. This further explains the difference in value and ways of safekeeping fees being charged. It is safe to say that there will be unjust competition among Rahnu providers as well as the treatment received by Rahnu customers as they are being charged differently. Might be more, might be less, depending on the Rahnu providers that they have chosen to enter the contract with.
The third issue of Rahnu in Malaysia is lack of guideline on determining the originality of marhun. Each Rahnu organization necessitates the creation of gold purity testing tools. This is because fake gold is so prevalent on the market today. Many fraud occurrences such as those with gold coating or lead gold have been reported. Lead is one liquid that can be used to mimic gold. Lead is widely used in gold treating today to increase gold weight. Some gold detectors are incapable of detecting lead in pure gold structures. Because of this problem, many Rahnu only get a few types of gold to avoid acquiring lead-tainted gold. Some Rahnu organizations, such as Post Malaysia, were given bullion with the condition that it be divided to evaluate the grade of the gold. Opportunities of Rahnu. Despite the availability of easy access to illegal money financiers, banks for personal loans and traditional pawnbroking amenities, the growth of Islamic pawnbroking services seems to have made greater advances into the financial sector, where it is strictly controlled and varied. Despite rising rivalry from numerous other financial establishments and regular pawnbrokers, the development of Islamic pawnbroking seems to have been consistent since the beginning. This notable addition could be explained by a variety of factors. The researchers discovered the following reasons. The first one, credit is limited, especially for consumer purposes. Sharia rules, which is Islamic laws, govern Islamic pawnbroking. The Muslim population is enticed to submit security in exchange for credit rights. The second one, Islamic pawnbroking, like traditional pawnbroking, imposes no limitations or requirements on how the proceeds must be used. The third one, there are no additional charges. And the fourth one, the procedure is swift because the borrower receives funds shortly as the security items are verified. The fifth one, aside from traditional pawnbrokers, no other financial institutions will issue credit for the type of security held by the consumers. And the last one, because the credit can be prolonged indefinitely as long as the safeguarding charges are fully paid, it can be used for long-term objectives.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Aisha binti Rosli and I will continue the presentation with the second and third opportunities found in Rahnu. The second one is that there is no conflict of interest which is riba involved. In the Arano plan, the public is given quick and rebate-free short-term financing by pledging their jewelry to banks as a security. It is a type of microcredit and financial tool for low-income individuals who need financial help or assistance to cover urgent personal needs or working capital. As an example, small business owners who lack the necessary funds can use the agreement to obtain a loan or capital from a pawnbroker by pledging their property as collateral. In Malaysia, the growing pawnbroking scheme, along with the breeding of demand for gold products, have become pushing factors to secure the formation and development of the Arano industry. In the case of Arano financing, the issue of the taking of riba are not found out of this justification. The third opportunities is evaluate each Arano effectiveness. Measuring the relative efficiencies will help the Arano opportunity become even more effective. There are three key reasons why the efficiency issue in Arano needs to be underlined. First, the topic of whether the sudden growth in the number of Arano outlets was caused by a problem with sustainability has been interestingly discussed. Second, in order to manage the Arano, the federal and state governments provided financial assistance to all Arano shops in order to help them launch the operation. It was predicted by several earlier studies that subsidized enterprise would not be productive. Third, Arano can be divided into three groups, which are companies with tie to the government, like Muassasah Gadaian Islam Terengganu, Pemodelan Kelantan Berhad, and cooperatives operating under foundations like YAPIM, or banking companies like Bank Rakyat and Agro Bank. In terms of storage costs, regulations, and market strategies, these categories produce various traits. It is crucial to consider the variables because they will help us understand and demonstrate why some Arano outlets are more effective than others.
The first challenge of Arano is the lack of knowledge among society. First and foremost, there is a lack of understanding and awareness of how Arano operates in society. Arano is acknowledged by some, although it's not obvious whether they comprehend the difference between Islamic and traditional pawnbroking. This can possibly suggest why the public, especially Muslim, have a tendency to select conventional pawnbroking, as there are no perceived difference in terms of advantage or disadvantage among these two. Furthermore, their knowledge of thinking and perception by society of Islamic pawnbroking as a product that is meant for poor and needy people. Therefore, the level of awareness of how Islamic pawnbroking works still remains unclear in society. Next is conventional pawnbroking provide higher margin. They prefer to borrow from the conventional pawn shop or lend money illegally since they can provide higher margin to the value of collateral and unlimited time to redeem. The ahlong activity is widely practiced as an illegal, which is hidden economy activity in Malaysia. This type of money lenders offer ready cash advance to low income individual and small scale and to the borrower who do not have any goal to support their pledge. Even some borrowers with gold still prefer to borrow from illegal money lenders as the latter can provide higher margin to the value of collateral and unlimited time to redeem.
Next, I will continue with challenge number 3 for Rahnu, which is gold counterfeiting and technological inefficiency. Firstly, external gold plating using substance called lead. Next, Rahnu institution has limited the acceptance of marhun. Counterfeit gold can pose significant risk to the Rahnu system as it can devalue the collateral asset held by the pawnbrokers. Counterfeit gold is designed to resemble genuine gold, but it is usually made from a different, less valuable material such as tungsten or other base metal. Then, it's coated with a thin layer of gold, and that's why it's difficult to detect the fake gold by using traditional methods. Next point is some technology cannot be used to detect fake gold. This is because any financial institution such as a Rahnu provider sometimes face technological inefficiency that can hinder their operations. This inefficiency can occur due to outdated system, lack of automation, manual process, and inadequate record keeping methods. In addition, this factor can also cause delay in loan processing, detection of fake gold and higher possibility of error or inaccuracies in documentation. For example, the Pen record 400 case of fake gold pounds totaling 400,000. For the last, we can conclude that most Malaysians have little knowledge about Rahnu. Next is Rahnu law always change over time, which is from Qad, Rahn, Ujrah and Wadi'ah. They update to Tawaruk. And people also more knowing and like to use private pawnbroking like Ahlong, which is most famous pawnbroking in our country. To avoid this impact, we must spread awareness quickly and aggressively. Next is our government must setting fixed rate to our country, and our country must open more Islamic pawn shop in rural and overpopulated region, which is more Sharia compliant. That's all from Group 4. Thank you.